This is Claudette for Allstate.
Claudette for Allstate. Here we go. Okay. So that was funny. It's only because the commercial was like, I'm a teenage girl, and then it goes through all of this like ridiculous stuff that teenage girls face, and Claudette just sounds like someone who would never ever say those kinds of things or experience those kinds of things. So it's very entertaining to hear her like posh like accent be like, you know, like, oh my god, like he did that, I like him now too, and it's like it's funny. So yeah, I would buy from Claudette because that would be interesting. I would watch that Allstate commercial.
Alright, so then we need Elizabeth.
Alright, here's Elizabeth. Okay, so for this one, I would buy from Elizabeth because she sounds like a teenage girl, so it's believable. Yeah. That's all.
Nothing special beyond that?
No, just, you know, she just, like, sounds believable. Like, Claudette I would buy because it's funny, because she's totally not a teenage girl. Or, like, a typical, like, American teenage girl, but, like, Elizabeth just sounds kind of like she would be a teenage girl. Okay.
Be nice to Maddie.
Alright, here's Maddie. Here's Maddie. Yeah, no, not Maddie.
No, sorry,
Definitely
do that again.
What?
Do that again. I literally just went like that.
Definitely not Maddie. I would not buy from Maddie, no thanks. She still sounds like a sticky little girl. Definitely not a teenager, and I don't believe her at all. No.
So Sticky Maddie should not be driving.
Sticky Maddie should definitely not be driving, but like Claudette, like she'd be driving like something like super fancy, you know, like what's a British car? I don't know.
The only thing I can think of is like an Aston Martin.
Sure, she'd be driving an Aston Martin. She would be driving an Aston Martin, you're right. So Claudette would be driving like a fancy Aston Martin, and I feel like she'd have like a scarf like blowing in the wind and like sunglasses on, and she'd be like, I'm a teenage girl. And it would just be like so obvious that she's not a teenage girl. But Elizabeth would be like driving like a hand-me-down like really like crappy car, and like she'd be,
I was
like,
about to
texting
say,
the whole
would she be
time.
driving Civvy?
No, I think she'd be driving like a really crappy like car that like a lot of teenage girls have as like their first car. Like, you know, they buy it and it's only like $2,000 and it's really, really crappy. Okay, so no, not Maddie. She should not be driving anything except for her little like Barbie toy car.
Does get some speed on him though.
Yeah, but she can get all the stickiness in there that she wants because adults don't drive those. Okay, here's Mark. Mark just sounds boring. Like, I mean, he's Like, he doesn't make sense for this commercial because he's not a teenage girl, but, like, he just sounds like a lot of commercial, like, voiceovers. So there's nothing special about him. And, like, if they're gonna be like, oh, I'm a teenage girl, then they shouldn't use a guy. Unless it's Richard. I'm waiting for Richard.
The original commercial's a dude.
Is it really?
Oh, you haven't seen the original commercial?
Probably not.
Well then,
Well, let me watch
we'll
Richard. I want
we'll
Richard
listen to
first.
Richard, and then you can make amends to Mark.
I don't think I like Mark, though.
Apparently, arrogant Mark and sticky Maddie.
I don't like either of them. Okay, here's Richard. My man. Okay. Yeah, I like Richard still. Probably out of all of them, I would buy from Richard and Claudette simply because of their accents and just the fact that they totally don't sound like teenage girls. And I don't know. It's just funny. So yes, I would like to buy Allstate from Richard. I trust him. I'm in his hands.
First you want to buy Richard, and now you're in his hands. You're not making a good record with this so far.
Okay, can I watch the actual commercial?
I was about to say, are you familiar with the original
I
commercial?
don't think so, since I didn't know it was a guy.
Okay, so we're gonna do that real quick.
Okay.